Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Tanny Rutdow on the line, and she is co-founder over at Whole Self Systems. Tanny, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so I am excited about today's show topic. So mindfulness being essential to being a good communicator. Lots of business owners, entrepreneurs, executives listening, and communication is key to everything we do. But before we get into that, I do want to get a little bit further into what you're doing over at Whole Self Systems. So first, tell us a little bit more about your company, please.
So Whole Self Systems was founded by myself and my co-founder, Melissa Center, who was on your show recently. Basically, we train individuals and teams on how to communicate more impactfully. Essentially, what that means is rather than just communicating information, we're really focused on communicating in a way so that it lands on people with more of an emotional impact.
That's awesome. And I think just to start with that, what are the types of, because there's going to be some people listening right now, and we're obviously going to get into the heart of the show in a moment, but just so they have a feel, what are the types of clients that you like working with, just so they know if they're the right ones to follow up with you?
Sure. So we work with clients from many, many different industries. So it's not industry specific, but the clients that we typically attract are clients who I would say have a kind of self-awareness. You know, they know that they know their stuff, but they usually know that they're also having some issues either inspiring their teams or even sometimes having issues with public speaking, or they themselves are, let's say, somebody from HR who happens to notice, okay, there's a problem with a specific team in their company. And so they'll oftentimes will bring us in and have us help assess what's happening. And then, we go from there. We work with a lot of artists as well. I think the one sort of like common thread really is a lot of our clients are closeted performers. There's something in them that's always wanted to, be either an actor, a singer, or, a great public speaker. There's something where they feel like they have something bigger to say, and they want to say it on a larger platform, and maybe they're just, in a specific job where they can't really do that, but they have a kind of self-awareness that they want to communicate more impactfully. So they come to us.
That's awesome. Well, let's get right into it. So why being mindful is essential to being a good communicator. Where do you want to begin?
Oh, wow. So first, I just want to talk a little bit about mindfulness. I think with pop culture or popular culture, mindfulness is out there. People are talking about it, but I think there's a kind of misconception about it too. People think, okay, mindful meditation, let's say, that it's a way to relax or bliss out. Sometimes I work with clients who have this idea and they expect, okay, after one session, they're going to levitate and feel like they're sitting on, clouds. And
That's not the way it works, Tanny? Hold on. That's not the way it works?
No, not exactly. I wish, right? If I had the power to give that
to
people. So that's one misconception I just want to bring up. But I also want to say that mindfulness is something that everyone can do. As a matter of fact, you probably are already doing it daily. You just don't realize it. Really it's just about connecting to either your breath, that's all you have in the moment, or connecting to a kind of sensation. Let's say, really focusing on how your skin feels as the wind is blowing. It could even be as simple as focusing on, a flower, or focusing on when you're washing the dishes or tying your shoes. So it's something that's just really, really accessible. And the practice itself is remembering to be aware when you're doing these simple activities. What that does is it helps kind of settle your mind. If you imagine your mind like a snow globe that's being shook around all the time, and you have sort of all the little snowflakes just floating there, you can't really see through it, right? There's not a clarity. Mm-hmm. And so then you're living in that chaos of a shook snow globe. So mindfulness starts to help settle the little snowflakes. So then there's clarity. And once you have clarity, then you can start to pick and choose how to behave, how to respond to things, what you want to listen for. So then, this transitions me into talking more about why mindfulness is so important for good communication, right? Oftentimes, I'm sure you've experienced this, where maybe you're talking to a guest or just talking to someone your friend, over dinner, and you're telling your story and you're really into it, and your friend didn't pay attention. He's looking on his phone, or something else, I don't know, somebody catches his eyes and he missed most of your story. But he comes back and he tries to just pretend like he didn't, right? And then you, on the end of telling the story, you have a sense that he didn't hear you. So what mindfulness does is it helps you, number one, become a really good listener. It trains your brain in a way where you're focusing on one activity. So it doesn't mean you're dismissing what's going on around you. It's just you're able to really hear clearly what the other person is saying. So then once you're a good listener, then you can respond accordingly. You can respond with more impact because your response is based on a kind of truth for yourself, right? Like what your friend will be able to not only hear your words, but feel what you're feeling as you're telling the story. So then the response will be in accordance with that versus, oh, he kind of heard your words and then now he's responding something to you and you're sitting there like, that's not what I meant, right? Mm-hmm. So that's sort of like the basics of why mindfulness is really important for communication.
I love it. And I'll tell you, I can talk to you about this all day, Tanny. And your snow globe reference of the little snowflakes, I'm like, as you're talking, I'm like, you're really good at what you do because I already feel more mindful, like just talking to you. I can't imagine your clients. They're like, tell me more about settling said snowflakes, Tanny. Tell me more. I love it. This is awesome. So, hey, I mean, I could talk to you about this all day, and to the audience, this was just a little teaser for you of what Tanny is able to do. So that being said, Tanny, if somebody does want to connect and to follow up to learn more about what you're doing over at Whole Self Systems, what's the best way for them to reach out?
They can go on our website, which is wholeselfsystems.com, and that's one word with an S at the end.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Tanny, I really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about mindfulness and why it's necessary to be a good communicator and also all the great work you're doing over at Whole Self Systems. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you are one of those shook snowflakes, make sure that you follow up with Tanny because we want to make sure that you get mindfulness in your life. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast if you had fun listening to this because we had fun making it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then also subscribe there. But leave us some comments too. Love to hear your thought process on mindfulness, what it's done for your life, or what you would like to know about it. Love to connect with you there on our YouTube community. And Tanny, thanks again for coming back on the show.
Thank you so much.